We start with the Scammys.
Scammys?
Yo.
The Scammys.
Y'all put me on.
Who blew the whistle?
Deborah.
It's always a Deborah.
It's always a Deb.
Deborah's.
Mad
They got the
Deborahs,
whistle on
Debbie.
deck.
Yeah. Anytime someone names their kid Debbie, they're gonna grow up and tell some things.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I be crushing the building, eyes on socks.
Anytime you say the word Grammy, this just pops up in my head.
So independent, I might buy cats.
Oh, he might have wrote this in Maul's house.
I might not stop. Place cap.
That's when O was going crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
One of my favorite freestyles.
All right, the Grammys, the Scammies, the Shammies. There's a lot going on.
Give us the backstory. You and Parks put me on when I walked in. Because I would never think that the Grammys would ever stoop low to do anything that would be fixed or fake.
Deborah Dugan.
Oh, you didn't even tell me your last name was Dugan.
I did.
Just the snitch name for sure.
It's Deborah Dugan. Deborah Dugan, I'm uncertain of what her title was, but it was something big on the Grammy board.
President.
CEO. The
Which-
Recording Academy.
she was the
CEO.
president.
Oh, according to the tweet, it was the former president, but maybe it was CEO. I don't know.
All right. So she knows the ins and outs.
Yeah. High up enough to know.
Yeah, they could have told me she was the custodian. I would have believed
The
her.
interns probably know what's popping.
Yeah.
We know what's popping.
We know what's popping.
Former Grammy board president Deborah Dugan. Dugan has filed a discrimination complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission against the Recording Academy. And I'm reading this from DJ Booth. Shout out DJ Booth, of course. It says the previous CEO, Neil Portnow, had been accused of raping a performing artist. That information had been withheld from board members before voting on a $750,000 consulting fee he'd receive even after he had left his job in disgrace.
Wow.
I'm going to pause there so the gravity of that can take effect.
Yeah.
Do y'all hear that?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's nice.
Actually, I'm going to repeat that.
Yeah, you should.
The previous CEO, Neil Portnow, had been accused of raping a performing artist. That information had been withheld from board members before voting on a $750,000 consulting fee he'd receive even after he had left his job in disgrace. What the hell is he consulting about that he gets $750,000?
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah.
All of that is disgusting. Jesus. It goes on to say she was the victim, Dugan. Dugan was the victim of sexual harassment by Joel Katz, the Academy's general counsel and former board member. The organization maintained no staff attorney. Telling.
Wow.
I'm going to repeat that too.
Yeah.
The organization maintained no staff attorney, but instead chose to overpay outside law firms by millions of dollars. Well, that's corporate shit. Rampant conflicts of interest exist among those outside law firms, Academy board members, and the artists they represent. Board members receive payments in connection with the work they were supposed to be doing as volunteers. No, that's the game. Academy employees had leveled multiple accusations of racial discrimination. It sounds right.
Yeah.
The nominating and voting processes are rigged, with secret committees, conflicts of interest, and self-dealing taking place throughout, often to give preference to white artists over their non-white counterparts. The allegations against her by a subordinate were fabricated in retaliation for bringing all of this to light. Okay, so apparently she's facing some shit too, and she alleges that all of that's fabricated in retaliation. What do we think of everything that I just said?
I'm not surprised.
Is it shocking?
I
Is it
don't
shocking
think
to anyone?
I don't think
Not
it's
here.
far-fetched at all.
Not at all.
In fact, it's pretty fetched.
Even that's sick. I'm gonna get sick wherever we pivot in this conversation.
But my thing is, was she fired or suspended?
I think they said suspect. Oh, carry on.
Was she suspended and this is the reason why she's now coming forward? Like, did she notice while she was still a part of the Academy and just never said anything about it?
I'm sure.
Because then that's a problem too.
I agree.
Like,
I
don't
agree.
just say something now because you're suspended. Like,
That's usually when things happen, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
People are
that's
usually
typically-
complicit until
yeah. That's the shit I don't agree with.
Well,
when the hush money runs out.
Well, in numerous articles that I've read, and this is coming from, these are quotes pulled from Dugan, is that her job there was to just kind of filter through some of the fuck shit that was going on behind the scenes and just get things together. And when she attempted to do that, she received a lot of backlash and was ousted. Those are my words.
Okay.
They paint the Grammy board as like a nasty boys club.
yeah,
Sounds about right too.
yeah.
I've heard this just in corporate America, the term.
Yeah, I mean, this is far from just the Grammys.
Yeah.
This is a lot of offices and major corporations in the world.
This article goes on to say Dugan was hired to replace the organization's former head, Neil Portnow, after he offered a tone-deaf response when asked to comment on why Alessia Cara, who won for Best New Artist, was the only woman to accept an on-screen award during the 2018 show. Portnow's suggestion that women need to step up showed an utter lack of awareness as to the barriers to success faced by women, people of color, the LGBTQ community, and any of those who are outside the white male-dominated membership of the Recording Academy.
Yeah, it was insane. And that was a year that,
That was-
lot of great projects came
Yeah.
out by women.
Women
And
killed.
a lot were snubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really
SZA,
it was a really
Beyonce,
shitty year for.
Solange. Like, there was a lot
I
of
think
good.
Anti might have been in there too.
Yeah.
It was one of those years
Yeah.
where it was like holy
Rhapsody,
shit.
I think. Yeah.
And
But this
yeah,
is-
that was a nuts response.
But this is to our common and reoccurring point on this podcast. Why do we put so much respect on some of these institutions rather than the art form itself or the art itself?
I mean, that's what we were taught.
Yeah, it's a conditioning thing within music. I mean, you see your favorite artists ever, for the most part, getting them, and you think that that's, when going into your music career, that's a goal I want to hit. I want to have a Grammy. It's just in our brain that really, really matters to us. And then you get there and you realize the politics of it, and it doesn't mean you had the best album or the best work that year. It just means you were with the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's one
For
of
the
those-
most part.
it's one of those awards that you grow up watching, and every respectable, every popular, every successful artist is in one room at the same time. And if you're an artist, you want to be in that room
Yeah.
because then you feel like you've arrived, you've made it, you're now one of them.
Which,
Well, that's the smoke. That's the smoke and the mirrors part. They always get us with the aesthetic, with the optics of it.
Yeah.
All our favorite artists, they're all beautiful. We're gonna see these performances.
great.
At that time, I had no idea how much labels were involved in the award-winning process or the nominating process. I didn't know there was a board. I never knew there was a board. And if I'm speaking truthfully from an artist standpoint, that's when I lost a little bit of, like when I was nominated for Pump It Up, knowing I wasn't going to win because the category was stacked. I felt great. Like I called my mom. I told her like it's one of those
no,
things.
getting,
Oh,
Grammy,
absolutely.
getting
So-
nominated for a Grammy is fucking amazing.
I totally understand why people feel that way. But I didn't know about a board or any of that when that happened. And the second I learned about a board, I said, oh, okay, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
different. Because then you start hearing about different ways that you need to schmooze up to the board to better your chances. This has been around, I heard this years ago.
But it's kind of one of those things, it's like, how do you fix it? Because if you go with the people, we get back into all the things we hate about what people are doing with streaming now, and these little tricks and these ways of using their stand hives and crews and whatever you want to call them, the same way Bieber just did. Like, they'd find their fans somehow, all right, you have to vote at this time and refresh your page and then vote again. Like, it would become bullshit too if the fans decided. So you kind of can't win for losing with this. It's not, that's why music is weird in the award category, because it's not like the NBA where of course you can debate who is the MVP, but for the most part it's all right, he probably deserved, if not should get that. It's more cut and dry because music is so subjective and so weird in that case that how do you even fix this type of shit?
Well, for me, let me respond. For me, yes, music is subjective, but if you don't get your award either from the art or from the people, then you have some questions to answer to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing it for the art, you get your award from just the amazing art that you are creating, getting better at it, just tinkering with it, all of that science, mad scientist shit that creatives go through, or from the people. Like, yeah, I never won nothing, but the amount of people at the show that come up to you and tell you all the shit, it makes you feel good. So great. Why do I have to schmooze up to the Grammy board?
Especially
one year.
When you look at that list of the Grammy board and not know one fucking name on there and be like, who are you to tell me who can be on this list or not?
I think one year they told me to perform or something at one of the, because they do parties for Grammy weekend.
Right.
I think one year they told me I would have a better shot at a nomination if I performed at the Grammy board
Oh yeah,
party.
absolutely.
And wait, and all of this is after I learned that my label has to submit me to even be in contention for any of this shit. So I mean, a lot was learned along the way that made me view the Grammys a certain way. I was fortunate enough to be grown when certain artists started to boycott the Grammys as well. So I had a pretty good understanding there. But this is really big news that it seems like they're doing their best not to really cover it. Dugan was on Good Morning America the other day. But this can't be good right before Grammy weekend.
I think I only recognize Paul Wall on that list.
List of what list are you
This is
reading?
the trustees of the Recording Academy.
Oh, and then later,
Leslie Jones.
And then a few years later, after the performance bullshit, after when I was nowhere in commercial, trying to be commercial or trying to get a Grammy or trying to appeal to a wide audience, then they told me I could be on the board.
Well, once you're nominated, I think you're allowed to be on the board.
Yeah.
But
Like
that's a crock of shit.
Yeah.
It's a crock of shit. It's the same way they need to update the people. I get so angry every time, and this is unrelated, but it's not. When the baseball, when the Hall of Fame shit come around, and it's the writers and people that could vote.
Yeah.
Like, when do we update y'all?
Yeah.
Barry Bonds never really got caught cheating, by the way. I just want to say that.
He should be.
People may have forgotten that.
Yeah.
They didn't catch him.
Yeah.
We just know.
Well, with how the board works, where it's fucked up, and I don't know if it's still this way, they should break it up into genres. Like, if you're nominated for Best Rap Song in 03 and you now have the opportunity to be there, you should only fuck with rap shit, in my opinion. Like, there's a group of Grammy trustees and board members. They don't know shit about country. They'll know the most popular name.
Right.
So they're like, all right, well, I'll do that one.
And
it works that way more against hip hop because most of the people on that board are not hip hop.
More
So they'll
importantly,
see the high level name that may not deserve it, like a Macklemore against Kendrick, and be like, well, I mean, I guess do the Macklemore guy. He's on TV every day.
Right. And more importantly than that, they know the guy that he's signed to.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the real in. It's like, oh, that's my man. That's his artist. He's on his label.
Yeah.
Let's give him the nod.
I'm going to watch.
Me too.
I'm going to watch, but I don't give much credence to the Grammys.
No.
No, I think it's cool if you have a Grammy or nominated for one. I totally get your excitement. I think it's a foot to say that as well. I'm not taking that away from anyone. But if you don't, I wouldn't care too much.
Right.
Still be a great artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm super happy for Lucky Day with all of his nominations. And just to make it clear, I'm not happy because he received a whole bunch of nominations. I believed in his art. So to me, when that happens, whatever is supposed to happen will happen. Lucky Day to me is that great of an artist that 4 nominations, whatever that's supposed to come.
Yeah.
That should speak to, all right, I'm doing what I got to do. Not me bowing down to y'all recognizing me doing what I got to do. No. Nah.
For me, even if he wasn't nominated, I still think he's a phenomenal artist. Like, that wouldn't change anything for me.
Yeah, but remember, a few months back, I came in here and spoke about all of the artists that we see perform in that. What's that spot when they put the new artists on before the commercial? Lucky Day was one of them. Her was one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now a year later or a few years later, so we could when you know that, you could kind of see some of the politics
That they're
involved.
That they're paying attention to.
Yeah, they start locking in on certain artists.
Yeah, and don't try to distract us with the fucking Nipsey tribute. even though I am going to watch the Nipsey tribute. One of y'all fans out there is stupid for saying that Game is going to Lil Mama that Nipsey tribute.
I can see it, though.
I saw y'all say it.
I could totally see
I
it.
seen it. I seen him say it. And as soon as I read it, I said, damn, they got a point. You don't think Game going to let a Nipsey tribute happen?
He'll be there.
And you know, Game cleaning it up would be the best part, too. Yo, Nipsey told me before he died if they ever did a Grammy tribute, yo, Chuck, you need to be on that stage. It'll be an interlude on the next album.
That'd just be funny trying to see niggas get Game big ass off the stage.
A word.
He ain't
Game ain't
he
gonna
ain't
budge.
the tiniest of dudes.
No.
Good luck.
Not at all.
Oh man, how many big rappers are there? Now that I'm thinking about it,
Not
Not a
many.
lot.
Not many.
Not a lot.
Game is definitely up there.
Yeah, most rappers are pretty short, really.
it's Game, it's Slim Thug.
Hov is tall.
Hov is tall.
Busta
He's tall.
now.
Busta, yeah.
But when you talk to Hov, you never think Hov's gonna snuff you.
No.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give a
That's not his vibe.
Yeah, nah.
The gentleman next to him won't even snuff you. He'll give you like a chop that'll dislocate your whole body.
Yeah.
Waka's a big dude.
Yeah.
Walker's a bigger guy. Yeah, these
Davies is tall.
are Davies. These are all people that I'm breaking a bottle for in a fight.
You'll need some assistance.
I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna have some too. All right, yeah, man. That's all I got for the Grammys. I don't.
Scammys.
Yo, hey, Scream Man, don't pull up rappers' heights, man. What
That's
are
it.
you doing? What are you doing? You being like a little too efficient at your job, man.